I'm Pastor Diana, and welcome to another daily devotion. I'm so glad that you've chosen to spend this time with God and with me. This week, we're going to explore the theme of making the altar in the world. It's based upon this book, An Altar in the World, by Barbara Brown Taylor, one of my favorite authors. In it, we're going to explore what it means to worship God every moment of every day through sacred and simple practices that you can do. Today, the first practice we're going to explore is waking up to God. You know, I grew up going to church on Sunday mornings, and I loved my church. It's still one of the places where I encounter God. I grew up at Riverside Avenue Christian Church in Jacksonville, Florida. It is a beautiful church filled with stained glass windows, and it has so many memories. It's where I was baptized. It's where I did children's pageants. It's where I grew in faith as a teenager and began to lead worship. It's where I was ordained. It's where my father had his memorial service. It's where my best friend was married. So many memories. And growing up, I used to think I'd go to church to find God. However, as I grew older, I realized that I could encounter God lots of other places, not just in a church building. Barbara Brown Taylor writes that waking up to God and realizing that we experience God in other places besides the church is one of the first practices where we can grow closer to God and to live our life in worship to God. She writes, "I can set a little altar in the world or in my heart. I can stop what I'm doing long enough to see where I am, who I am there with, and how awesome the place is." You know, you might think that the only place you can encounter God is at church, but I bet you've had other places. Maybe it's outside, maybe it's a sacred place like a campground, maybe it's an experience with friends or family, maybe it's your own house. And when we begin to pay attention, to wake up that God is all around us, it's then that we can experience a life of worship with God. Our scripture lesson this morning is a great example of that. In Genesis, we hear about Jacob's dream at Bethel. So Jacob has gone and wandered, and he falls asleep one night, and there he encounters God in a powerful dream. And when he wakes from his sleep, he thinks to himself, "The Lord is definitely in this place, but I didn't know it." You know, often in life, we are asleep to where God is. But when we begin to pay attention, we can see that God is all around us in the little things and the big things and the wonder. And when we begin to pay attention, we begin to go, "I didn't know God was here." So my hope for you today is that you will spend some time paying attention, thinking about where are the places where you encounter God. And you never know, it might be right where you are.